Hey, what up everybody? Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. We are here in San Diego, California right now, and I figured I'd take the time, specifically Ocean Beach, kind of the mecca of van life here in Southern California. So I figured I'd take the time to share with you why I live in a van. There's a lot kind of behind the reasons why. So I'm walking to my car right now, and yeah, I want to share with you guys why I live in my van. All right. So we're walking up to my van right now, and I just want to show you guys what I got going on here. I just did a van tour on my last video, but I figured to show you guys what I've got going on. I have a 1995 Toyota Previa. Just bought it about 3 months ago. I've been living on it about 3 months ago. But yeah, this is what I got set up here. Coming in here. Oh yeah, there we go. It's kind of difficult today. There's a lot of people out by the beach, but yeah, I figured I would put this video up, while this idea is still fresh in my mind, my head of, the importance of explaining why you do what you do. And living in this van was very much an intentional thing. So yeah, so we're in San Diego, California right now. This city is a great place to be part of the van life community, specifically here in Ocean Beach, California, or Ocean Beach, San Diego. There's a really big van life community. And if you are in San Diego, or you're looking to come to San Diego to do and live in a van or car, I would recommend going to Ocean Beach, specifically Dog Park. There's a lot of people out here. I could do a whole video just going from van to van to car. There's buses, vans, everything. But yeah, it's a really cool community out here. It's really easy, obviously, because of the weather. But there's just a lot of people that are out here living this lifestyle. Yeah, so I live in my van basically because I want to live a very passionate lifestyle. I'm connected to this lifestyle. It's not like, I want to say the first thing, it's not for everyone. I think there's a percentage of the population that is more than fine, if not great, doing the 9 to 5, having the house, having the kids. That's perfect. And that, if that works for you, that's great. Like, again, I think the one thing I would tell everyone, or if this lifestyle, if you're interested in this lifestyle, is that if you are going to be happy doing it or not. Because that's really the point, is to really just bring you happiness or connect to yourself to where you can be happy. But if the opposite, if the 9 to 5, house and kids, that's for you, that's great. But there's a section of the population, myself included, that would not work for. I can never invest in a house. I can never invest in anything that's going to keep me in one place for, more than 6 months. I mean, I've been even here in San Diego for 6 months, and I'm already feeling that itch to, like, let's go see more, let's go explore more, let's go do more. So it's always on my mind. And so that was the real reason. I mean, that's the short answer, is that I was not meant to live a traditional lifestyle. Like, at 32 years old, I finally know that about myself. I wish I kind of learned it at a younger age, but I guess, you know what? Everyone's different. Everyone grows at different rates, and, it doesn't really matter. So, yeah, at 32 years old, I finally realized that I am a nomad. I am nomadic. I was put here on this earth to explore. So to living in a vehicle, living in the van, is a tool to live that lifestyle. This tool is going to get me on the road. This tool is going to free me from having, any type of financial ties and any type of ties to a living situation, like a lease, or, God forbid, a mortgage. Like I said, I want to reiterate, this is not for everybody. And and I'm not, a lot of times it's like a this or that, but it's not like that. This is what works for me, and I know this is what works for probably a small percentage of the population. So yeah, that is the short answer of why I live in a van, is because it allows me to live on the road, and that allows me to really tap into, my purpose for being here, or like just tapping into, like, everyone has their, like, oh, this is what makes me alive. This is what gets me going. For me, it's the road. like just getting on that freaking road, which I will be doing in about a week, and I'm super excited about it. I'll be heading back to Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, so look out for vlogs with that. But yeah, that's kind of the short answer. The longer answer is I was out here in San Diego, and I was coming across a lot of people who were living or traveling out of their vehicles. Like I said, it's very common down here. And the more I saw, the more I kind of like put ideas in my mind about doing it myself, but I never really took the plunge. And then there was other circumstances that happened that got me back to Michigan. And then from Michigan, I was like, okay, then I'm gonna really do it. So then I moved from Michigan to Seattle, and then I had a pickup truck at the time. And so I actually was living out of my pickup truck for a couple months, but I was having problems, I was having mechanical problems, and I had to let her go. But up there, I was living out of her for, a couple months, but I was living on the back of the bed. So it was a really interesting situation where the car basically wasn't working, and I was just living out of the back of the car for a month, stationary. No one said anything. It was really sketch. I'd have to get out of the back of the car, so it would be times where there's a lot of people outside. See, when I'm in my van, I can just go from my bedding area up to the front seat and just drive off, which is what I do early in the morning. When I was in the truck, it was a little different. So it just, this is a much better situation than last time. But yeah, so I was in Seattle, lived out of my truck for a couple months, and then that basically had to go to waste. And then I moved to San Diego last September, and then I found this van about 3 months ago. Bought her, and I've been living out of her ever since, and it's been amazing. It's gonna transform things for sure. Again, it's just the freedom of the open road, the freedom to travel and do whatever. I mean, now I just feel like everything's a backyard, everything's a playground. I'm gonna start with the States. So right now I'm in, I want to do like regions and make sure I cover that region. And then when I feel like the country is fulfilled, then I'm going to head south. So then I'll go to Central America. Once that Central America's, I feel like I'm discovering, I'll go to Central America. And then, so as you can see, my mind, I'm staying present, but I'm also thinking ahead because it's getting me excited and able to plan things out a little bit. But it's getting me excited about the future. And again, about this lifestyle. And that's why I'm starting this YouTube channel, so I can share this experience. Because again, this is going to be the rest. This is going to be the rest of my life or the foreseeable future. But I just have so many things planned that I really want to document this and want to share this with people. So if anybody has any ideas or questions, I want to be there for people who are interested in this lifestyle, because I remember it being very scary at first. When I was in Seattle, that first night in Seattle, I was in my truck. I was batshit scared. I was really scared. You have a lonely feeling. You're scared. You're lonely. It was just really strange. But now it's the opposite. Now I'm so comfortable living in a van. It's really not a big deal. It's almost like I don't know. It's really strange from the first night to where I am now. So, but it took a little bit of research online. YouTube was a good resource for finding, like-minded people who have already been doing this for any questions or anything like that I had. So, that was my first night in my truck, in my van, it was my first night in my truck, but that's what got me through that initial, I'd say, month it really took to really get comfortable living in a vehicle. And then there's always all these other questions like, how you eat, or you shower, stuff like that. And that I kind of want to do another video on. This is kind of just the basic why I live in a minivan, because I think that's the biggest question. Why do you do what you do? What motivates you? What wakes you up in the morning? And I think if you're interested in this type of lifestyle and you are getting hella bored with the day-to-day, and you've been thinking about it, and you kind of are that one person that kind of looks out the window, always looking to go somewhere, always looking to meet people for the next adventure. Again, staying present, but saying that there's a big playground out there. I always like to think of it as a playground because I remember, as a little kid, you're going out there, you're playing, you get let up for recess and you get to go play. I love that. I feel like I'm on recess all the time. So I want to make sure I keep it like that. So I've adjusted my work into, so the way I've lived this lifestyle, I work in the restaurant industry. So I'm a bartender, server, slash barista, slash anything that you want to, fit in there as far as, service industry jobs. Cause right now I'll just take anything, cause, or not anything, but, right now I'll make sure that it's not about the money, cause you can make good money in this industry, but, you also have to sacrifice, yourself sometimes if you want to make some really good money. So I'm trying to find that equal medium of not having to put too much stress on myself, but also making a good enough amount to where, again, I don't have to work if I don't want to, or I can take off a week or 2 weeks or a month and go travel. So I'm finding that balance right now. But yeah, I mean, whatever you are into, again, finding that balance and finding the way to free yourself from the ties that will bring you down in life. Again, freedom of the open road that's touched me in a way that I can't explain, but I know I love it. So if you're someone that's interested, or you're someone that's like, hey, this 9-to-5 thing's killing me. Like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, look into the van life community. Go to Reddit. Reddit's a great community. YouTube obviously is a great community. All you got to do is plug in some hashtags and you found it. Obviously hashtag van life is the big one. Bob Wells is a great YouTube channel to check out. He goes on the ins and outs. He interviews people. He shows you how to do builds. He shows you everything in a very simplistic way. How living out of a vehicle, from RVs to vans to sprinter vans to everything. The Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, the RTR, is basically a van life meetup, massive meetup slash festival-ish slash Burning Man-esque environment in Quartzsite, Arizona every February. I guess it's been going on for about 8 years now. I went last month, and it was huge. It was awesome. All these like-minded people and you're at BLM land, which if you're on the road, BLM land is basically free camping land. That's something to look into. Yeah, if you're just someone that is just dissatisfied with life, and again, you got to really understand yourself to live this lifestyle. But maybe it is for you, maybe it isn't, or maybe just try it out. I always recommend someone asked me the other day, it's like, well, what would you do for someone that lives in an apartment, has a lease, but is interested in the lifestyle? It's like, go sleep in your car, at a park, for an afternoon, and then go sleep in a neighborhood, overnight. It's a little tricky at first, but again, and then just see if that's something that you would be able to do. So yeah, I mean, again, freeing yourself up is the big thing. This is what this lifestyle does, and this is why I do it. It frees me up to do whatever I want, and I can. Again, it's a playground. Everything is a playground now. You have to discover different things because, yeah, I mean, you really don't have anywhere else to go, and you gotta keep moving. It's kind of illegal, so you have to keep moving. You got to go to different parks, different neighborhoods, and so yeah, I don't know. If it's for you, or if it's not for you, great. Again, if you're happy and you're doing what you love, that's awesome. That's the whole point. It's just to find what you love and to do it passionately, and help others find their passions and help others find their happiness. Because I know, when I come across people, I'm just like, well, what brings you alive? Why do you do what you do? And if you are happy, then that's great. And then we can maybe be friends, because it's hard to find freaking happy people. A lot of people out there are miserable. I know. I work in the service industry, and the majority of people I come across are very unhappy. And it's very unfortunate. I try to turn that around with the service I give, but it's really the truth. A lot of people are very unhappy, and that's, again, messed up. So if you are one of those happy people and you're living a 9 to 5 and you have the house and you have the kids, great. Finally, you're a diamond. You're a diamond right there. It's just that, you know, for me and other people, especially out here, you know, or I shouldn't say especially out here, but people all, you know, in this community right here, in the van life community, it's an alternative lifestyle, so people don't understand it. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on this thread. Feel free to direct message me or whatever you want. This is why I do this. I want to open up a discussion and have answers for anybody who has any questions, because I know I had a lot and it wasn't that easy making transition, but now it's a breeze. Now it's super easy and life is just opening up. So anyways, yeah, well, if you still watch this, thanks for checking out my channel. My name is Dan. I live in this van, and yeah, I just travel around. I generally, like I kind of gave a synopsis earlier, but I'll take a region. I want to kind of like discover that region, and then I'll move on to the next, and then God knows where is going to be next. So next week, I will be moving up to Seattle, so the Pacific Northwest will be that region. And I hope to be vlogging, and so basically I'll give myself 6 months to discover that region, and then I'll move on to a next region. So, and then hopefully vlogging along the way. So yeah, but anyways, thanks for hanging out. If you are interested in following this journey or interested in anything van life related, or yeah, just discovery, anything, feel free to subscribe, like, and yeah, feel free to comment. I will respond. I don't, you know, I just started this YouTube channel, so I don't have many subscribers, and so I have the time to comment on anybody who is interested or curious. So yeah, till next time, see you guys. Peace.